It's my job. I gotta talk about it. And what I'm gonna do is talk about both sides. So you gotta follow me and you gotta be patient to see what I mean. T-Street Controversy Live, March the 18th, 2015.
Right? Yeah. I'm an American. I was in Olympics. I represent the red, white, and blue. You know what the American rights should say? Well, why is a guy that's from another country who come over here and make money and take it back to his country? But once again, I'm feeding American citizens every day. All I ask is give a little blood, give a little urine. That's a crime.
Are you that convinced that Manny Pacquiao...
Audio courtesy of a channel, it's called Flomo Sapien.
Where was Manny Pacquiao at in 96?
I'll put the link in the description box.
What was he at in 97?
Let me run that back. Let me run that back.
What was he at all these years? To his country. But once again, I'm feeding American citizens every day. All I ask is give a little blood, give a little urine. That's a crime.
Are you that convinced that Manny Pacquiao is juiced that you will never fight him?
Can I answer your question? Where was Manny Pacquiao at in 96? He was a pro before me. What was he at in 97? What was he at in 98? What was he at all these years? I'm saying,
so you are convinced?
I'm just saying, I'm just asking a question. That's all I'm doing is asking a question. Come on, now this is basic common sense now.
I remember you as an Olympian at 125 pounds.
And guess what? It took me years to get to here. Years. And guess what? It took me years to get here. You go back and look at the pictures. At first his head is small, and then his head all of a sudden just grew. Come on, man, stop. Stop this, man. Come on, man. This just so easy. Man, Ray Charles can see this shit. Come on now. Come on, man. I told you it's basic common sense. Go look at the pictures. Don't tell me this man had to get bigger. This man probably went from a 7 to 1/4 to an 8. In a hat, a fitted hat. And you gonna tell me all natural? Come on, man, stop this. I'm going up in weight, but I ain't just walking through no damn fighters. I ain't just walking. This 106 now he decided to just walking through Cotto. Come on, man. And Cotto, everybody else Cotto here, he get up out of. Cotto can't knock down Mosley, but he can. Come on, man. This makes sense, man. And guess what? This is how this world is, man. You got rights just like this. Like, no, Floyd is scared. No, Floyd cares about his family. Floyd is smart. At the end of the day, Floyd is smart. You know what I'm saying? My health is important. My health is more important than money. They can take all the money. My health is more important. If they say, Floyd, you know what? You can live a healthy life like you is right now, or you got to walk with a limp, or you got to walk bent over for the rest of your life, but you have a lot of money, I say take it all back. And y'all know this. Y'all know this is y'all know it. And y'all know it. Y'all just, people just say, we don't give a if he taking it or not. We don't give a we just want to see the fight. We don't care. We don't give a about your health. We don't give a about your family. All we care about is our own family. Well, no. I care about my family. I love my family. Because they going to be there when nobody else is there. Because when my career is over, y'all moving on to the next, and y'all writing a story about the next. That's exactly what's going to happen. I'm scared, I'm a coward. Well, guess what? I'm a rich scared coward. I'm a rich coward. And if that's the case, if I'm scared, I'm a coward, why y'all want to watch me?
I'm going to do you one better.
We're at the world famous wildcard boxing gym in Hollywood, California, with none other than Freddy Roach. At the beginning of 2014,
Radio Raheem, seconds out. I'm going to put the link to the video right in the description box.
He had a tough start to that year, a tough 2012.
Subscribe to both channels.
But an excellent end. How would you characterize your year last year?
We had a real good year. 12 was a little disappointing year, but losing is part of the sport, and I had a couple of my big guns that came up in the short end of it. Manny in a close fight, with Bradley, of course, and it made me a little controversial. But then the Marquez fight was no controversial at all. It was, it was a bad moment. But the thing is, the guys came back really well. Picked up Miguel Cotto. He did real well, and we had 3 big wins at the end of the year. And the thing is,
it's coming.
They were big ones, but I'm more impressed about how they won, because they went in there and they destroyed their opponents. They fought really well. Ruslan Pernavnikov was the first person to knock out his opponent. Manny Pacquiao wins every round of his fight, and Miguel Cotto knocks out a very difficult guy. A guy I was a little worried about going into the fight, because he's a very awkward fighter. But it's set up for a great year this year.
You of course jumped in with Manny Pacquiao, and the fight that ended last year, he looked great. It was an excellent time in Macau for the fans and the fighters. But with all that went on, the one big story that didn't break until you got back home was obviously the Brandon Rios steroid test, or PED test. What was your reaction when you heard that he failed that test?
Well, I know he has a new strength coach, and I don't get along with the guy. And one of the reasons why he doesn't work for me anymore, because I think he's a little shady. He used to get Manny a drink every day before workout, and I asked him what's in that drink, and he would never tell me. And I said, because I think he's a little shady. He used to get Manny a drink every day before workout, and I asked him what's in that drink, and he would never tell me. And I said, I need to know what's in that drink, because you're giving it to my fighter, and if something goes wrong, I'm going to get the blame. So because I think he's a little shady. He used to get Manny a drink every day before workout, and I asked him what's in that drink, and he would never tell me. And I said, I need to know what's in that drink, because you're giving it to my fighter, and if something goes wrong, I'm going to get the blame. So
one more time.
Because I think he's a little shady. He used to get Manny a drink every day before workout, and I asked him what's in that drink, and he would never tell me. And I said, I need to know what's in that drink, because you're giving it to my fighter, and if something goes wrong, I'm going to get the blame. So I think he may have something. In my opinion, he's a little shady, and so he's with that camp now, and it doesn't surprise me that happened.
No, I mean that's.
We'll just stop it right there. I'll put the rest. I'll put the link down in the description box. It's so much to talk about. What I said I was going to do is I'm not going to be doing videos on every little bit of Mayweather versus Pacquiao news. But what I will do is I will do at least one video a week. And the closer we get to the fight, I know right now we're about 45, 44 days away or something like that. I'm going to turn it up big time. Major surprise coming. I'll leave it at that. I just gotta do it one more time. I gotta do it one more time. I got to. Classic interview by Heredia, right? One of them. It's timeless. It's priceless. It's priceless. So let me run it back a little bit. There we go. We'll play from right there.
Because I think he's a little shady. He used to get Manny a drink every day before workout, and I asked him what's in that drink, and he would never tell me. And I said, I need to know what's in that drink, because you're giving it to my fighter, and if something goes wrong, I'm going to get the blame. So I think he may have something to do. In my opinion, he's a little shady, and so he's with that camp now, and it doesn't surprise me that happened.
No.
The criticism comes from, you got to talk about both sides. And what I said earlier in the video is that I'm going to talk about both sides. And I'm not accusing anyone of anything. For one, you got to look at it like this. Look at the situation I'm currently in right now, and also look at the fact that no one's failed a drug test. No one will likely fail a drug test. But this is a situation where it has to be addressed. So a while ago, I did a video discussing basically something called the Mayweather standard. And the Mayweather standard is where Mayweather can do literally almost anything in the eyes of some fans, and it's like forgiven. Well, it's not addressed. For example, just to get right into it and to cut the bullshit, I'm talking about the fact that, okay, all right, you accused Manny Pacquiao or insinuated Manny Pacquiao was on steroids. Basically, that was pretty much the whole reason why why the fight didn't happen, among other reasons. And yes, I understand that Manny Pacquiao should have took the drug test. My own personal feelings about if Manny Pacquiao was clean or doing anything or not, I voiced those opinions in the past. I'm not going to talk about it again. But what I will say is, yes, Manny did mess up. But at the same time, you had a man accusing him, right, or insinuating that Manny was doing something. So what did Manny Pacquiao and Team Manny Pacquiao do? They filed a lawsuit, defamation lawsuit against Team Floyd Mayweather. And what happens is, when things are starting to heat up, Mayweather's medical records were going to be subpoenaed, and allegedly. And this ended with Floyd Mayweather paying Manny Pacquiao a certain amount of money. I believe it actually was a relatively low amount, something like $150,000. So I covered this story a long time ago. Paid Manny Pacquiao privately, and Floyd Mayweather has since not insinuated that he's on performance-enhancing drugs. So he may have danced around it as far as, of course, he says, well, I asked for blood and urine, and the way he may use the tone of his voice or whatever, of course he's insinuating, but he can't say it in the way he was before. For example, that video I played, the audio I played from the first video, that was very damaging evidence. And these are the type of things where I say it's called the Mayweather standard, to whereas in people, it's true, but people don't want to hear it. And then also, let's talk about the elephant in the room. They don't want to hear about it from a black man, because I'm supposed to be Floyd Mayweather. You get me? So, and that may be a little bit over your head, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is I'm genuinely talking to you. So I'm not, I don't like to sugarcoat shit, if you get what I'm saying. So I look at it like this. When you get a strength and conditioning coach, they know how to maneuver. They know how, it's science. So I ask myself, if you insinuate, how did Manny Pacquiao's head get so big? How did he just walk through Cotto? Floyd Mayweather now. And the reason why I'm talking is I need you to understand it, because it's a tough situation to talk about without getting emotional, because I get pissed off. I be thinking, how do people he has the man that was training Manny Pacquiao in his camp at the time that he was insinuating Manny Pacquiao was on performance-enhancing drugs. So now that same man is in your camp. Now we're going to talk about the way people justify it, or not justify it, but defend it, and all that. We're going to get into all that. We're going to have a nice, healthy video and get it all out of the way. Then I'm going to talk about what's going on with the ticket sales and basically everything about the fight that I know up until right now, and my status on if I'm going to the fight or not. With the Alex Ariza thing, I can understand what people say. Well, Floyd is a master of media manipulation. He may have Alex Ariza in his camp to stir up controversy. Is that the type of controversy you want? Also, Mimo Heredia, I believe that's the name he goes by now. This guy is a science guru of performance-enhancing drugs. when you got this, it's you gotta be an open-minded fan and ask yourself, is Floyd just doing this for the controversy? Is he doing this for the controversy? Or is he doing this because he really needs the extra help? Now, here's the thing. For a fight this big, of this magnitude, I don't think any fighter is stupid enough to do something so dumb to whereas they can get caught doing anything. But yet, at the same time, this is one of those fights where you got so much riding on it. Not only legacies on both sides. You got a fan war that may end that night, as far as, you know what they call them. You got HBO versus Showtime, or Showtime versus HBO. Showtime being A side with the fight up of B side as far as a network. B side HBO as far as the fight up, but A side as a network. Al Heyman versus Bob Arum. The Cold War. For example, if my personal opinion is that if Manny Pacquiao defeats Floyd Mayweather, the Cold War is officially over, to the point where the Golden Goose, the man with the Midas touch, Floyd Mayweather, will be defeated. So therefore, I look at it like this. Well, Al Heyman's going to have to start opening. Like, you know, I understand a lot of this is flying a little bit over your head, but please understand me when I say I'm stuck to whereas, and I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, all right, I'm all for controversy. My name is T-Street Controversy, T-Street Controversy Live. So when we hear about all the different tactics that are being used, for example, the rumors of Al Heyman paying sparring partners extra money just to not spar with Pacquiao, maybe tampering with the with the drug testing, to the point where Michael Kuntz went on the record to say that he's hired a special consultant to oversee the drug testing, and that's smart business. You know, I'm glad I read about that, to the point where if I'm a promoter and there's drug testing, I would hire someone from the outside that knows everything to basically watch all the drug testing and everything like that, to make sure they're not doing nothing, you know, illegal. And remember, when it comes to these tactics that you're hearing about with the sparring partners and all this controversy surrounding the fight, this is not nothing new in the sport of boxing. This is not new. But at the same time, in this social media, fast millennium technology age, we're getting it all at once. For example, the photo, Floyd's arm had like all these veins in it. Then a day or so later, the photo was released. No, a video was released where he's chopping wood. Pause. Me, I've had experience chopping wood. Pause. Almost chopped my foot off one time, but I hadn't had my foot off, like in my ankle. Like almost went straight down to trying to be too cool. So you see the video, and it's crazy because I have the video. I could have uploaded it, but you know, it was too late at that point in time. You see the video, he's chopping the wood, pause, and he doesn't have any, you know, eyewear on. And there's stuff like that, and I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, a chip in the eye will fuck you up, you know, to the point where, you know, it can, you know, maybe damage your retina or something like that. And that's when I knew it was just for publicity, as far as that moment right there. So people say, yeah, well, he was chopping like a sissy or whatever the case may be. I'm thinking they just did that, shot that footage, and then, you know, afterwards or before, he really was getting it down as far as with the eyewear on and, you know, just going in. Because trust me, like working like a handsaw or an axe, you will look buff and shit after like an hour of hard work. All it should be all veiny. So it's just that you leave so much to be speculated when you're associated with someone like him. And I'm thinking it's kind of, you know, it's kind of hypocritical for Floyd Mayweather to be talking about cleaning up the sport, and then you're working with this controversial figure. Now, as far as in the sport of boxing is concerned, from my understanding, no one has ever failed the test under Heredia, but they have under Alex Ariza. But still, and then Alex Ariza had the nerve to blame it on like a dirty glass or something like that. They didn't use, you know, it just, you know, I'm thinking to myself, why would Floyd put this shadow of doubt for for fans to, if he wins or knocks out Manny Pacquiao, for fans to say, oh, well, he had Heredia in his camp, and Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez. We all know it's a shady situation, you know? And I'm thinking, like, Floyd, they supposed to be smarter than that. And here's the problem I have, right? PR-wise, if it was me, PR-wise, if they were to use him, I'd be like, and I'm saying, like, listen, let's say if everything's all clean. Let's say if Heredia is like a changed man and, he's really doing everything by the book. Me, personally, if I was to work with somebody like that, I would not take a picture with him. I would not have fans taking any photos of him. I would tell him, listen, don't tweet that you're at this gym, I mean, and I understand, it may be a little, sneaky as far as tactics is concerned. But if everything's legit, we know we're doing everything right. It's bad. It's like I said, in this social media generation and age, boxing fans know who he is. Even though if it can't be proven, boxing fans feel that he helped Marquez a lot. So, and that's not me saying it, but when it comes to the mainstream boxing media, they can't or will not talk about it. So, like I said, interesting article on Fight Hype from about 3 years ago about Heredia. And it's not really talking about him in like a good light. So like I said, it's just like hypocrite just keeps coming to mind. And I'm thinking, as a boxing fan, and I love the sport, I watch too much boxing not to be able to talk about something that is big of a subject as this. And it just makes me think like, man, like it kind of like when I first heard about it, I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard about it, I was looking at it on my phone and I was like, I went like this. Like I really felt like in my gut, like, why would he do this dumb shit? Like, I guess you gotta be a hardcore boxing fan to really understand what I mean. And I'm thinking like, damn, he didn't have to work with dude. Now, we already know that Floyd Mayweather is a gym rat. He don't need a strength and conditioning coach. He don't need one. But at the same time, I see where he wants to be dangerous. Now, understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that anybody's doing anything, but at the same time, I'm just talking about the characters, as far as their past are concerned, as far as credibility wise. Alex Ariza is not really a credible dude, to be like, and to be honest, and that's out there for you to see for yourself. As far as the guy told us, told you I already knew, and it's crazy because me, I can't say Alex I can't be like, well, Alex Ariza's wrong because nobody, you're T Street and Alex Ariza, he's with Floyd, but it's like they all knew they wasn't fighting no Cotto, man. And that's why I was getting mad, because I'm thinking like, there's some fans coming at me like he's fighting Cotto too. Alex Ariza said it, and I'm like, man, these fans are sheep. And I don't like it's sheep. Like I be having a scoop. I think and put it this way. Floyd Mayweather with Alex Ariza and Heredia is a weapon of mass destruction. Floyd Mayweather don't need them. But having them, can you imagine what he's going to show up like looking like? Can you imagine that way if he's fighting, he's getting ready for the biggest fight of his life. And also what he's doing is he's building up power, because with a guy like Pacquiao with those combinations, we know Floyd, don't give me none of that bullshit about Floyd Mayweather's power. He hits harder than people say he does. Listen, I go by looking at the way these fighters be looking. He ain't been knocking no one out. His last significant knockout, meaningful knockout, in the heat of the moment knockout was against Ricky Hatton. I don't count Victor Ortiz. I don't. I just don't do it. So, what I'm saying is this. He's working on power. He's working on, when Pacquiao comes in with those crazy combinations, he's working on hitting Pacquiao with a mean counter to the point where Pacquiao will be cautious coming in on the inside, and therefore Pacquiao will be reduced to being a boxer because he'll know that Floyd is packing some power. This is the type of fight where Floyd will risk hurting his hand. This is the type of fight where Floyd will throw with all his power. Remember what he said. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play it for you because I have it courtesy of Showtime, exclusive to T Street Controversy Live, and that's for real. Please subscribe. But since we got some time, I'm going to play it for you, and to hear him say it, and I've listened to it over and over and over again. I really do believe him. Now I'm picking Manny Pacquiao to win, but at the same time, remember, I'm a true boxing fan, and without Manny Pacquiao, Mayweather versus Pacquiao, I'm cool. But as a boxing fan, if Floyd Mayweather wins, I'm going to be here. I'm supposed to be at the fight. So what I will do is, after the fight, I will do a live video from the arena, from right there, probably like next to the ring or somewhere where you can see the ring and everything in back of me. I'll jet up to the room real quick, upload that, jet back down to the post-fight press conference. I'll probably have somebody working remotely, to make sure, they unprivate the video and everything, because I'm going to be doing a lot of running around. And basically, it's going to be on and popping. But what I want you to listen to this. Let me find it. Here it is. Because it's telling. And it really makes me really believe, like, yo, this guy's fucking serious. Because I never heard him like this before. Oh, by the way, Teach You Controversy live at realcombatmedia.com. Shout out to Mad One, the ALC. Get my Al Heyman, hint.
May 2nd, the fight of the century.
This is on my channel.
The best, fighting the best. And Pacquiao is one of the best fighters
Wait a minute.
of this era. And everything's about timing. And I think we couldn't choose a better time. This is a fight that the world can't miss. This is an unbelievable matchup. Action-packed fight. I'm in the gym working right now, dedicating myself to the sport, pushing myself to the limit, because I never wanted to win a fight so bad in my life. From day one, I'll dedicate myself.
When are we, like, have you heard this from him before?
Pushing myself to the limit, because I never wanted to win a fight so bad in my life. From day one, I was always taught to be a winner. No matter what, be a winner. Push yourself to the limit. Stay focused. And be the best that you can be. Everybody that's tuning in, we want to say thank you. I'm pretty sure you're going to see hashtags on Twitter, Instagram, shots. May 2nd, that's when the world stops. I want everyone to tune in. Mayweather Pacquiao, the biggest fight in boxing history. Thank you.
Like, here's the thing. My approach to boxing is different now. Like, I see boxing for what it really is. Floyd Mayweather is not afraid of Manny Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather is afraid of losing to Manny Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather knows, and all the signs around us show it. He knows that this is the biggest fight of his life. Don't get me, listen, I understand people want to think I be clowning him and all that. I'm most likely a bigger Floyd Mayweather fan than you. So, listen. When I say that, when he was talking at that press conference, listening to like his voice and the shakiness in his voice and the nervousness, I'm not going to say nervousness, because see, that's going to be a term that's going to be disputed. But what I will say is that doesn't show me necessarily fear right there. That shows me more than ever hard work, dedication. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to play it back and show you what I mean.
In the gym working right now, dedicating myself to the sport, pushing myself to the limit, because I never wanted to win a fight so bad in my life. From day one, I was always taught to be a winner. No matter what, be a winner. Push yourself to the limit. Stay focused. And be the best that you can be.
Now, like you gotta really think about what I'm saying. To whereas, and he knows, I don't care what none of you say, he's not making $180 million plus to fight an easy guy that he's just going to school. You are saying that. He's not saying that. He knows better. I understand that thing that he's Floyd, he ain't scared, he's going to school Manny and all that. Listen, the man is in the toughest fight of his life. Because not only is it the toughest fight of his life physically, it's going to be the toughest fight of his life because of what's at stake. And if you don't get that through your head, he's fighting a guy in the biggest fight of his life that's been knocked out cold in the worst possible way. I'm saying this in the best possible way, but in a fighting way. You know, and I don't want anyone to get hurt, you know, as far as, you know, long term. But Manny Pacquiao is going to come out there and try to kill him. You know, and that's and people saying Floyd's just going to go schooling. Manny, like, you know, just like Marcos Maidana in the first fight. I said it. Nobody wanted to listen to shit I had to say. And, you know, I'm used to it. And that's why I keep continuously doing videos. I told you with Mayweather versus Maidana. Way before anyone yelled, Marcos Maidana's is coming in. He's not coming to box. He's coming out there. He's going to fuck Floyd up. Floyd may win, but he's going to punch Floyd in the dick. You know, he's going to be dirty. He's going to be throwing punches from all kind of crazy angles. And Marcos Maidana is the type of fighter that he will, like, if he has you right there in front of him, he will use all his energy. He's not the type of guy that'll throw a 3-punch combination like Canelo and then, you know, back off, reset, go back in. If Marcos Maidana has you right there in his sights, he is going to beat your ass. He is one of the fighters. He's one of the rare fighters right now that you do not stand in front of, period. You do not stand in front of him because you don't know he's throwing everything. He's going to kick you. He's going to try to bite you. He's going to elbow you. And it's going to be a mean, vicious combination that's going to come with it. His uppercut's mean. But when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, I understand Floyd Mayweather is when it comes to this. Listen. People want to say, did you ever see Floyd Mayweather fight against a southpaw? Listen, I cover every single major fight live. Cover every single major fight live. The same fights you watch, I watch. The same fights you're going to watch, I've been watched. Multiple times. I watched it, like, you know, and people, like, I watch the same fights that you watch. More. Understand what I'm saying? I watch the fights with you. Then I watch them afterwards. Then I gotta watch all the interviews and replays and everything associated. So as far as my boxing knowledge, I understand what like when Floyd Mayweather, when it comes to the southpaw versus the shoulder roll, I understand that Floyd Mayweather is working on that high guard hook. But on the cards, Floyd Mayweather, I don't feel is going to be able to have the work rate to defeat Manny Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather cards have been getting a lot closer. Understand, you know what? I'ma save it. I gotta do a video. My next video will most likely be on Mayweather and the economy. As far as, you know, what Mayweather Pacquiao does for the economy. And what Mayweather and what a loss to Floyd Mayweather would do as far as boosting